Hello, beautiful. Happy holidays. As my holidays gift for you, today I'm going to share with you 7 potent steps that will attract your dream relationship in 2026. So these steps might feel simple or more complex depending where you are in your journey, depending how much work you already done in these specific areas. And these steps are not all just like very linear and strategic, although one is the last one, the step 7. So make sure you go through all 7 steps. But most of the steps are actually, I call them alchemical. They're about your inner transformation. Without that inner work, no matter how much tactics and strategies we apply, we are not going to get anywhere we desire. All right, let's get into this. So step number 1. Step number 1, I call it awareness. First, we need to become aware of where we are in the relationship dynamic. Maybe you're dating, maybe you're not even dating at this point. You can look at your past relationships into the current dating dynamic, but look in not just the patterns. It's very important to recognize the patterns you're going through, but even more important, look inside. So you have to take a moment and really feel what you felt or what you're feeling in these dynamics. Feel those emotions, and even then take a step further and feel it in your body. So very important to start connecting with your emotional and physical body. At this step, you can also then look where those patterns and those feelings are coming from. You'll notice that they are familiar. You felt something like this maybe in your childhood. You'll analyze maybe the dynamic between your caregivers, your mother and father, or maybe grandparents. And you'll start noticing that you're experiencing similar feelings, similar patterns that you already either experience or your parents experience, even if the family looked totally normal like mine did from the outside. When I tapped into the energetics and into the feeling of my mother and father towards them, I realized how much fear they have, how much pain they went through. My mother was afraid of betrayal, afraid of being hurt. She didn't feel fully chosen. My father felt too much control. He felt too much heaviness in this relationship, right? And that's, again, externally, it was just a normal family. He didn't leave the family. Everything was fine. So it's very important to go deep into that meditation and feel what's happening. And again, if this is not available to you, just tap into what you're currently feeling in those dynamics and just be aware of that. You are creating it from your subconscious mind because these are your subconscious programs. And we are not creating what we want. We create what we're familiar with, what our nervous system is used to. So pretty much we create who we are internally. And the world just keep reflecting it back to us. This is a very important step in my Inner Alchemy program that, of course, I'm inviting you to check out. And in this step, I do explain some main patterns as well, and you can even check now. Usually, if you go inside, you'll see you either felt like you didn't feel enough like love, you wasn't chosen enough, or like that's your feeling that you are not chosen, you are not loved, maybe, so you are not enough, so something is wrong with you, you are not worthy of love. Or maybe there was the opposite, sometimes it's even both, but maybe you felt like there was too much, it was like too draining, too heavy, it was like kind of the oppression, feeling of oppression. And that both of the scenarios can manifest in your dating or relationship life, either like attracting unavailable partners who breadcrumb you, who don't choose you fully, who don't want to commit, or the opposite, you attract men who choose you, who want to commit to you, but you feel kind of like oppressed, that you feel kind of bored, you want to run away. So that just gives you the idea that that inner dynamic is off. And again, until we become aware of that inner conflict, inner war between us, we cannot really move further. So step number 2. Step number 2 is about accepting not just the pain, not just this like suffering that's okay, your soul maybe decided that you're going to experience in this life, accepting the patterns that your parents had. It's more about accepting the gifts. So if you look deep inside, every shadow contains gifts. Any pattern, any suffering that you had to experience brought you to where you are now, made you the person who you are now. So connect with that sense of that gratitude. Of course, it's a process. There are processes that also in that inner alchemy journey that getting us into experiencing, first of all, that like emotions, and working with our fathers and our mothers, and getting to that state of total acceptance and gratitude for the life they gave you and for the gifts. And same you can do with your past partners, kind of taking the gift, taking your energy back out of it, saying thank you for, even through suffering, the lessons that you've learned, you became more of who you are, and that will also let go of that past that possibly still is holding you back. So again, accepting the gifts. And it's really a lot about stop blaming, stop feeling that blame and guilt. I mean, of course, if you feel it, you tap into it and allow yourself to feel it. But eventually, and that's the main alchemical process, if we just give space to those feelings, eventually everything transforms into love and gratitude. All right, step number 3. Step number 3, start choosing yourself first. Really connecting with your center. Pay attention how you feel in your body. Make your alignment, your energetic, your emotional alignment, your priorities, your highest priorities. Really that sense of self, deep self-love. What is it? It's not just some kind of idea. It's really like holding that space for yourself, honoring yourself, understanding that this is the most important person in your life, you. And start honoring that. Start giving this person the love that she truly deserves. Connect to that unflinching sense of worthiness. You are worthy already. It's not for any negotiation or questions. So connecting with the deep state of worthiness and preciousness, and start prioritizing yourself, prioritizing your own time, prioritizing your own self-care, your mental and emotional well-being. In my Inner Alchemy course, it corresponds with the phase where we work with our inner masculine as well. So what is that inner masculine? Inner masculine is your energetic and physical structure. So it's the structure, it's that energetic space that you can hold for yourself. How to connect with it? Any meditation practice based on that. It's connecting with the state of the observer. So you observe the witness consciousness. So you calm your mind and you start just observing everything that's happening within you. So holding that energetic space and also honoring what's happening inside of you, honoring all of the emotions, honoring your body, honoring your experiences, not making anything wrong or bad. So this is the important step of fully choosing yourself. And until you fully choose yourself, you cannot expect your partner to choose you. All right, my dear, step number 4 is the step I called inner union or sacred union within. And this is the biggest download I received, and only after that I started to teach this type of work. I've been relationship coach for many years already, and I knew lots of like principles and psychology around that, but until I actually got this energetic component, I didn't feel like I want to teach it. And now with that inner union state, that inner union process, that I can take you again into the inner alchemy journey, we go in deeply into this process. However, you can also find similar processes here on my YouTube channel, and I will put the link in the notes to the Sacred Union Within webinar. It's a free webinar, the recording of it, that you can watch, and you can understand more of that principle of sacred union. And there is also the meditation, the process that you can go along. But in the foundation of that, again, it's understanding that we have two forces within us, yin and yang, masculine and feminine, Shiva and Shakti. Shiva being divine masculine, Shakti being divine feminine. So in this process of inner union, and you can do it now, you can do it at any moment, you connect again with your masculine, just like I described before. You connect with consciousness. Masculine is that consciousness, that awareness, the structure. But without Shakti, Shiva is nothing. So the consciousness without life force, without love, is really nothing. So just connect with that sense of honoring of the divine masculine towards the divine feminine, to all of the life, to all of the expression of life. And then connect with your Shakti, with that inner, with your inner feminine energy. Absorb it within yourself. This energy is always moving, always expanding, always creating, awakening all of your senses, awakening your body. Your body is the Shakti. And start going back and forth between those two forces within yourself. Start rewiring that relationship, that dynamic, because often, as you can see from those previous steps, your inner masculine and inner feminine were not looking towards each other. They were not in a very loving relationship. Maybe masculine were not containing the feminine, and feminine had to look for love and validation outside of that container. Maybe the feminine was not appreciating the masculine, or was trying to over control the masculine. So all of those like unhealthy dynamics within us, we can now start rewiring by this, by connecting to this original love blueprint of the Shiva and Shakti love. So really connecting with that state, with that dance, with the alchemical marriage. And yeah, it's a very beautiful state. Once you connect with this state and make it your new home. I call this state of love or loving consciousness. So masculine as consciousness contains the love that you are. So start really grounding in that state. And then the next step is where we're gonna shift from wholeness. So what the sacred union state, it gets us to the sense of wholeness. We're becoming fully who we are. We're becoming comfortable with both of those forces within us, with masculine and feminine. We're expanding in all of them. So we have that inner balance. But now from the state of wholeness, because we actually want to attract that masculine partner for a power couple relationship, we're starting to lean into a feminine. While you're holding yourself in that energetic container of your own inner masculine, you allow yourself now to relax and flow in your inner feminine. And there are lots of practices for that. Any practice that connects you with that flow. Again, in my inner alchemy course, we going into sensual dance, we're going into some devotional practices, connecting with the goddess, with the priestess, and we're actually going into different feminine archetypes there. The archetype of wild woman and princess and queen and priestess and even witch. So all of those archetypes that invite you to connect with your own inner magic. So right, it's not a magic pill, it's lots of work, but this work is really fun, it's really beautiful. So you start connecting with your inner feminine on a deeper level, with a lot more love. You start to really appreciate this juiciness of that inner feminine and all of the expressions of her, right? Often women get stuck in one or two archetypes, and often it's not very effective archetype anyway, like a good girl, or let's say a mother. Mother is a beautiful archetype, but if you keep mothering your man, again, it's not gonna create you a beautiful relationship. So yes, the step 5 is about connecting to the inner feminine, and also trust and letting your inner feminine to trust your inner masculine, knowing that you do have your own back, you know your energetic boundaries, so that will allow you to be more relaxed in your feminine, and of course on the dates as well. Then step number 6. Step number 6 is about creating a list. So you can say like, yes, this is a very practical, strategic step, but it's not the list of just of the like masculine qualities that you desire. Of course, it's not a surface list, that's for sure, but the raw qualities of the man that you want to meet. But they're not going to be just one column, they're actually going to be 3 columns, so you can do it. Make a notes and make sure you do this practice on your own. So you create 3 columns. One column is his desired qualities. For example, kindness, generosity, protection, humor, ambition, success. Like whatever it's important for you, you put everything there. Then the column number 2 are your feelings when you are in the presence of this masculine partner. So you're gonna connect to how you're actually feeling in your emotional body and in your physical body. How would it feel? And you not just write it down, you connect with each of the feeling and go into nice, beautiful process of feeling his presence, that healthy, mature, masculine presence, and how you feel. Often with most of the qualities, you'll feel safe, you feel relaxed, you feel seen for who you are, you feel receptive, you'll feel more flowing, you'll feel more joyful, you'll feel more expressive. So all of that allows yourself to feel it fully, really enjoy this process. Then column number 3 is what kind of woman you need to become in order to feel that in that relationship, in order to be with that partner. So what kind of woman that partner will choose. So write down those qualities. What is to be that receptive woman? Who you actually need to be? That you know that you're worthy of that, that there is no question about that, that you know what you want and how you want to feel. So that's a very, very important process. All right, and step number 7, I said this is the most practical step, and this step I call it date like a queen. So it's actually dating principle that we're going to apply. And there is a whole webinar, again I'll put the link under this video, it's a free webinar, the recording that you can watch, it's called Date Like a Queen. and we'll go in details about this type of dating if that's something that you're resonating with. But these dating principles, I'll explain it here in a few sentences and see if you're feeling it. So this dating, it's not even a dating. It's about, yes, you date men. You actually date multiple men. You don't become intimate with those men. You stay in your center. You stay in your worthiness, you relax in your feminine, and you allow masculine courtship around you to get activated. In whatever way you do it, maybe you go on dating apps, maybe you go to the events. Once you actually relax into your feminine, like we did in step 5, I think, you'll start attracting that healthy masculine into your life. And then when you feel it, you start accepting the invitations on the date. And remember, when you go on a date with somebody, you don't own anything to this person. Your presence is enough. Your feminine presence, your receptivity, your appreciation, your feminine presence, your joy is enough already. And then you just observe. You observe how those different men treat you. Who is actually willing to grow for you, to change themselves. Not that they, you demand the change, but they want to change, because men also want to grow. And the most effective way for them to grow is to grow in response to the woman that they choose and they love. So it's actually a beautiful process for both men and women. And this type of dynamic puts you in the position of choosing and not chasing. It's actually very good for your nervous system, because as women, we do attach really fast, especially if we become intimate with a partner. And sometimes even if you just date one person and you're not even intimate with him yet, but you get attached too soon, because this is how our feminine psychic is wired biologically. Especially if we become intimate with the person, then your body thinks, yes, he is your husband, you're gonna procreate with him, and you just attach. You have the whole hormonal system that's wired for this attachment. So don't push against your own body. Save yourself, please, from this suffering of attaching yourself to somebody who hasn't chosen you yet, who hasn't proved that he actually wants to work for this relationship, that he wants to put any effort in this. So you have to stay in your relaxed feminine and allow man to rise for you, to rise into that king frequency. And only then you can choose. And of course, then when you choose one, then you can talk about the exclusivity, and then you close yourself from dating other men. So again, it's not about sleeping with different partners. This is about being in position of choosing, not chasing. All right, my dear, hope these steps are helpful for you. If you want to know more about the Inner Alchemy program, the Feminine Path to Power Couple Love, I will put in the description of this video, I'll put the link to the course. This is a self-paced course. However, if you see this video before December 31st, you can get a bundle, which is right now is actually less than the course itself, and this bundle will also give you one-on-one session with me. I know this is like really good deal. This is a no-brainer. So if you're resonating with this message, if you feel deeply inside of you that yes, you are calling in this new love, this new level relationship, you're not ready to settle for anything less than that love that truly amplifying, that's mutually uplifting, supportive, where you can grow together where you can experience like a new depths of intimacy, love, and connection, then you know in your heart that this work is for you. And I'm inviting you to join my course, connect with me, and at least watch those other webinars to go deeply into those other topics. And again, happy holidays, and I will see you soon.